Good evening, sir. It's wonderful to be here with you. Rare opportunity and a much honor. Let me get directly to the book. So, your stories in Why Didn't You Come Sooner? This is the book. Your stories in Why Didn't You Come Sooner made me look inward, asking myself, what have I done? What have I initiated in compassion towards society? So I would like your take on what can a family do to ignite compassion within themselves and towards the world. I've heard that you and your family are together in your compassion offer to you're offering compassion to society. Please tell us how to go about it.
Now, there are so many problems, but one of the problems in our relationship or in our genuine connect is that we either feel that we don't have time to spend with our family members, or we are already in competition with them or with others. So in a competitive world, and the world which is pushing for so-called success, which I don't think can bring joy and peace and safety, emotional safety, but even then we are being pushed about it, towards that. So one thing I learned, that if we learn to listen others' viewpoint, if we have to learn to build confidence, we have to be honest at least to few people in the family and also with others, then we can exercise compassion, because observing, talking to them honestly, we will learn each other's problem and then we will become the problem solver. Today, one thing I would like to point out here, that loneliness is going to be one of the fastest growing epidemic in the world. Even in America, a group of senators and congressmen brought a bill that loneliness should be considered as a legal issue, health issue, legally, so that they can get some health benefits from the government. It's a growing problem. It is not yet considered as an illness, but unfortunately it is the case, which leads to depression, anxiety, loss of self-respect or self-esteem, and so many other problems. And 8 million people, 80 lakh people die due to depression alone. So this is a serious problem. And we have to get out of it, and that is possible when we are able to talk and convince. We need not to convince, we have to share that what kind of joy you are having in working with communities, with children, with women, with deprived people, with marginalized sections of society. And sometimes they also need exposure with us. So if we take on Sundays or Saturdays our children or our spouses or brothers, sisters, it will work. And I have seen many families where the families got involved in some social change programs and inspired to do something, to take some steps. So I think it is very much possible, but we have to take some steps.
Sir, in the first story you have included in this book, Pradeep's story, he was put up for sacrifice and he came back to you after being injured and you rescued him from his misery. Child sacrifice is something that is still happening in stray corners of our country. After I read the story, and I think we had something closer to that, a stray incident in Kerala also, recently, last year. I was thinking, why is superstition still among us? What do you think? What sort of fight is required against superstition? What can the Aam Aadmi do for this?
Superstition continue when we are unable to build the scientific outlook in the society. And that drive should come from the schools, within the families. But the unfortunate thing is that the social media and the mainstream media spread superstitions. You open, as I was saying, that you open your channels and you will find so many Babas, Sadhus, Oliyas, this and that. They spread and deepen the superstitions prevailing in the society. Of course, they don't teach human sacrifice, but they teach so many things which ultimately lead to atrocities against women or and sometimes the poor, illiterate, deprived Adivasis and other people in the country. So I think there should be some legal efforts that the things which are not scientifically proven, they can, if they are against the law, and if they are against the existing norms and constitutional provisions, and if they are against the well-being of people, inclusivity and justice, and they are being spread in the name of religion and faith, and ultimately they are superstitions, they should be checked. And there should also be strong voices in the country where the intellectuals like yourself and people should raise the voice that what nonsense is going on, and spend some time in schools with the teachers, with the headmasters and others, that children should not be influenced by these dogmas and superstitions.
So, what sort of untold stories of superstition causing a lack of compassion and misery in our society, what sort of stories like that can be included in our school syllabus so that the children who are being influenced by all these news, all these things they hear, social media is affecting them also. Do you think education, our syllabus should be strengthened to invoke this?
Definitely, definitely. And I have started talking to some educationists, and eventually we are bringing proposals to governments, state governments and central government, that how to inculcate or train the innate property, and that is compassion. And instead of young people lose heart and lose confidence in themselves and others, and sometimes feel loneliness and depressed, better to teach them compassion in action. So one can dig out the compassion which is already there inside through some social actions, involving young people in transformative work, sometimes in service work, but eventually it should lead to strong steps, sometimes in changing or challenging at least those systems and those perceptions in society which are regressive. So education can definitely play the most important role, and it should be done through proper education systems and syllabus in the government schools as well as in the private schools. The stories of hope, the stories of courage, the stories of possibility, stories of change, and stories of inspiration of other young people, that if they were able to make difference, then everybody can make the difference.
Sir, even the stories of what you have written up here, how people have been trapped in misery and what caused that misery, that will take me to my next question. We have been approaching the problem from one end. Do you think, is it ever possible for these stories to be approached from the top end? See, we have generations, privileged generations, enslaving generations into slavery. That's what we see. That's second story about the quarry, being bonded labor in quarries. Yeah. So, and there are a number of stories like that in this, where bonded laborers and enslaved people are the people you have been about to rescue from misery. So what sort of effort can a society make in approaching these people from the top? How can these people be made to believe that what they're doing is wrong? Where do we start?
Well, that's why we have been advocating for compassionate leadership in all walks of life. You cannot do it one-on-one. It is important that we have to engage some influential sections of society, may it be politics, may it be corporations, may it be judiciary, police, may it be civil society organizations, media, journalism, literary groups, and so on. So that is one strategy to take it forward. And my own experience in the last 2-3 years since I have launched this Satyarthi movement for global compassion recently, I felt that this is possible. But when you are talking about this book, it is my journey with my fellow travelers or co-marchers, my children, who were rescued 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So it is not that I have taught them anything. I have learned a lot from them. I learned simplicity, I learned courage, I learned resilience, and so many other properties, so many other qualities from them. So this is a journey from darkness to light. This is the journey of every child from despair to hope, impossibility to possibility. We have been able to do it. And in this book, every story is the story of hope, possibility. And many of these stories are the cause of changing national laws and international laws. In the enactment of national policies and international policies related to children, because of some of those young people who fought and then won the battle. So it is the story, the whole book is the book of hope and compassion.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you have started the Satyarthi movement for global compassion, which aims to ignite compassion and action in the world. I'm sure this is going to be a call out to the youth in Kerala to follow you and to ignite the people younger than them and also their peers to go ahead to spread compassion in society.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will never say that anyone should follow me. I am neither a holy man, and I need followers and bhakt and devotees and whatnot followers.
So leaders.
Neither I'm a politician, so I don't need followers.
We follow leaders,
so,
sir.
I can learn from the young people. I always learn from the youth because they are the real heroes.
Yes.
And the hero, a champion, a leader resides in every young person, and they should prepare themselves and be ready to sit on the driving seat instead of following leaders in whole their life. Better that they should take up challenges and change this mentality. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. I think the
Thank
Chief
you.
Minister is waiting to meet you.
Thank you.
So that's why we are winding it up now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Benji.